All right, there we go.
What else? I gotta change that shit.
But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, that's when I was the first time that I was seriously considering procuring any sort of firearm was when I started seeing people going apeshit over toilet paper.
Toilet paper. Yes, that's what it's for me too. I think anyone who has stuff,
Hmm.
who has like a decent job in the house,
Yeah,
yeah, it was like, oh, maybe I do need a gun. Yeah, that
yeah,
was crazy. That was crazy. And I almost did, and I didn't.
hmm,
And like now, it's like,
yeah. I'm still thinking about it, and it's mostly because, in my opinion, the way that people operate is they are headline reactors. Like they
mm-hmm.
read a headline. Like I see a bunch of people who are like, who hear, you see the headline, they want to disband the police department or they want to defund the police department. And now all of a sudden they're all angry and all fearful that this is going to turn into like this world of mob rule and everything. And I'm like, well, no, read it, do a little research, and understand it. And you know what? Give it a try. If our current way of working isn't working, do something different. Don't hold on to something just because it's comfortable. I mean, that doesn't help. That doesn't move things forward.
Again
But
though, I mean, well, who are you? I mean, depends on who you're talking to. I mean, like if you, like I said it before about if you have shit and it's working fine for you, you don't want to change the shit.
yeah,
That's the thing. You're not gonna change anything that works for you.
yeah.
Don't
But then don't be like, okay, if it's working fine for you, and don't change it or anything. Okay, well then don't. What's a good way of putting this? Don't come back on the other side and say like, "Oh, it's working fine for me, so nothing needs to change," because that's not true. Then don't complain about anything. Like I said this to people before. I'm like, you understand the circumstances are different. The circumstances are very very different. But at the end of the day, the Black Lives Matter and the Floyd protests are no different than people rolling up onto Capitol Hill in Michigan with a bunch of guns because they couldn't
you
go
go
to
to
the
a favorite
barbershop or
restaurant.
whatever. It's it's
Yeah.
it's people fighting for their rights. And
Mm-hmm.
if you are going to support them, then you can't you can't go the other way and say, well, one group is right, one group is wrong. If you're saying one group is wrong, then they're all wrong. If you say one group is right, then they're all right. You got to be consistent with your thought and start thinking outside of your little bubble. And that's what's frustrating to me is I intentionally, like, if you ever go to my Facebook feed, it's hilarious. Not mine, but the comments I leave on people, I'll have a liberal who will be advocating a bunch of stuff, and I'll be like, well, you gotta think about this, this, and this, and they're like, well, no, you're a Trump supporter. I'm like, I never said that. I'm just saying, like, you can't just like it's great that you want to have universal health care and everything like that. I'm always going to say the devil is in the details. How are you going to get there? Same thing happens on the conservative side. It's like, we can never have universal health care. Why can't we have universal health care? I'm just a contrarian. I'm an asshole. I mean, that's just what I am. I will I will argue a point even if I don't believe in that point just to make sure that I'm understanding both sides and that that it's
But then, do you eventually come to a conclusion? Do you pick a side? At some point, you're gonna have to pick a side and all this shit. Because
it's not so much that I pick a side is I try to analyze and decide what I think is right for and I put my if I were president, how would I operate? I would try to operate in,
show me your game.
hey, what up? What game is that?
It's a it's a Star Wars Rebels game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Special one.
I finished it. In the last place you go is on is the lava planet.
Lucifer?
No, no,
No.
no, it's
What?
not called. It's just named the lava planet.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
All right. All right, man. All
it's
right.
all right. The game I've been playing is Arkham City.
Oh yeah.
Batman. Batman is so
Is that
funny.
new?
No,
Is that
it's
new?
it it came out on PlayStation 3, but they remastered it,
Oh, okay.
so I picked it up on the
That's a
PS4.
remastered a video game. Oh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Is that what
They
that happens a lot?
Yeah, that happens a ton. So what happens is because backwards compatibility isn't much of a thing anymore. So
Okay.
it used to be like on PlayStation 2, you could play all PlayStation 1 games.
Mhm.
So what they do now is there's a lot of like classic games that people really like for like PlayStation 3 or whatever. They or even PlayStation 1, they'll remake them for the new
Okay.
generation of
That's
consoles.
that's what you mean by remaster.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, it's pretty sweet, man. It's like just
That is
going
cool.
back.
Cool as hell. That's cool as hell.
I mean, if you like Grand Theft Auto, like this game is just so. You probably don't know too much about it, but Arkham City takes place. It's the second game in the Arkham series. It takes place after Arkham Asylum, which was another great game. But what happens? The story of this one is the warden of Arkham Island becomes the mayor, and or Arkham
So,
Asylum, he becomes the mayor, and he works with some shady organizations, and essentially quarantines, builds a massive wall around a huge section of Gotham, calls it Arkham City, and throws
uh, I
all
got
the
you.
inmates in there. Not just like people in Arkham, but people in jail and stuff. So if you're a prisoner or you're mentally ill, you just get tossed into this place, and some junk is gonna happen. So Batman has to go in there and Batman things up. But it's got a lot in there. Like I'm doing side missions helping Bane find some venom or Titan. So like he gets all big from
What?
that venom chemical.
Why would you be helping? Why? Wait, I don't
Bane,
understand.
because in the
Why would
first
you help
game,
him?
spoiler alert for like the two people that are watching. Um, the in the first game, what happened was Joker and a doctor in Arkham took the steroid, that venom that Bane was using, it turned into
Yeah.
this formula called Titan to try to create a bunch of super soldiers. Like a bunch of like ripped, Bane like guys who weren't quite as strong or trained. And Joker, being Joker, was actually gonna put it in the water supply, so like all of Gotham would tear itself apart just because he's the Joker. So some of that chemical still exists. So as a side mission, Bane's like, "Hey, I need to go and destroy this," and you're like, "All right, well, don't." Batman's like, "Don't piss me off, Bane. Tonight's not a good night." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my man." Batman that ish up.
That was me and Elijah's when we got our matching masks. That was our joke whenever we wear our masks. Where we talk like Bane,
I
like
never
try
thought
to
there was anything until I
Yeah,
started wearing the mask.
we doing that shit all the time. Joking and shit. It's so funny.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
When we first got him, we were like, "Look at it." And I was like, "He was like, you're like Bane." I said, "Oh shit." So we were like, "Oh, country affair, oh no."
It'll be very painful for you.
That's the best part about the mask, man. Shit, fucking cosplay all year round,
I know.
everywhere for months now. That's why I had to get this one. This is so dope. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, the gangbanger mask.
You know what's fun about that black mask that I put on? It's got like this little line in there. You know what it makes me think? It makes me feel like I've got the mouth of Optimus Prime.
No amount of the lines. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you're talking. It's just all like Autobots.
No,
Roll
yeah,
out.
I mean that's it. I always think that. I'm like, and like my cousin had a Bape one. Bape, that fashion line.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the shark teeth, the tiger shark plane teeth thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's that. I'm talking about the World War II planes, the tiger shark. Like,
Yeah.
that's symbol. Yeah, he wears that, and like, I tell you this shit. So I'm sitting there on the porch like 3 days ago, and he's been in quarantine for like 4 months. Like he just got back
Uh-huh.
from Europe, and he saw it. He saw how bad it was.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're calling him. Every time I look at him, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm quarantined. I was like, fuck quarantine. Fuck that shit. What's wrong with you? He's like, no, I just saw this shit. This is coming. It's coming to America. Fuck this. So he's been 4 months. He haven't come out of his house.
Man.
So I'm sitting there 3 days ago, and it's a fucking giant brand new Escalade pulls up in my driveway. I'm saying, like, what the fuck is going on? His brother's just like looking in there. He got a mask on. I'm like, look at the fuck. I go, oh, maybe he got the wrong house, the drug dealer house across the street. So he gets out. Then he gets out. I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Then I was like, oh shit, am I about to get served? I thought I was about to get served. Like, I owe my lawyer some money or something. I was like, oh, hey, I don't know. I'm nervous. He doesn't say anything. Anything. He walks to the back. He opens the trunk, big giant car opens up, comes out with this bottle of whiskey. I'm looking, and I was like, David, is that fucking you? He's all like, yeah, cuz. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, I had to come up here. He was voting on community college, and he's a political advisor, and he fucking trying to get that shit passed, which it did get passed. So he's up here for like 3 days, and he had his bottle of whiskey, Uncle Nearest whiskey. Oh, you heard about it? But what it is the original recipe of Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, whatever the fuck it is. One of them, they got the recipe from a slave. His name was Mr. Nearest. Okay, what his real name is. But they got it from him. He created a recipe. They took it and they became famous with it. Now this black woman found out about this. She went and got the original recipe, started her own company, and like gives the funds to his children. But it's called Uncle Nearest, and that's the original recipe.
Nice.
Somebody took whatever. So my cousin, that's his thing now. He got that like last year. He found it, and that's all he drinks. Other shit, but he always brings it by. So over 3 days, he's been coming over here every night, fucking getting this fucking fucked up. We're sitting there on the porch, yelling, screaming on him. He invited all my cousins over. My cousins all came over here. They're all outside, fucking having these crazy ass discussions about everything that's going on and staying 6 foot apart. In the middle of the night till like midnight. My neighbors are all like, what the fuck is going on over there? But then he finally went back though yesterday. So now I chill out now again. But he's funny as shit. But yeah, I don't know.
Hilarious.
He showed up. And it was good to see everybody because I hadn't seen any of my cousins for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone's over it, but it's still happening. I mean, the stock market like shit the bed because of what happened in China. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see fucking Hong Kong? Was it not Hong Kong, but Beijing? What is it? Someone they just got hit with the whole thing. They had to lock it all down or some shit.
That's not surprising though.
Yeah, that's their fear of a second wave. It started there, so now the second one's coming. Now everyone's getting fucking panicky, and the stock market just took a shit.
I mean, the second wave is gonna come. I mean, there's no way to avoid it. Not with the way that we want to rush to open everything back up, and that's fine. I get that, the I'm never going to poo-poo the economy. I mean, it's something that we need, but we just don't. We have to be prepared for it. Like these kind of lockdowns, we should be thinking about ways that we can do this in like a multiple manner. Like we should be like, okay, hey, numbers went down a little bit, let's go green. We know the numbers are going to go back up, but let's give people a little break, almost like a summer vacation, and then be able to pivot again. Like even when I'm get lifted, I mean, I'm probably not going to go back to work right away because I know how dirty those people are.
I still want people to. I mean, my thing is like, please, everyone, just keep wearing the mask.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do that, do whatever. Restaurants, I think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake because there's no way you can social distance in a restaurant. Eating and slobbers going everywhere, and you ain't got no mask on.
Nope.
So you're not. I mean, a waitress coming to your table every 5 minutes, then going to another table.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I mean, I'm sorry for restaurant owners and all that shit, dude. Send that shit out. Delivery's fine. Delivery's fine.
I've always said that.
Damn.
Like,
I mean,
like when it comes to government, like I like a hybrid approach of a small government and a big government. Small government in that there's only a few things that it can own, like military, education, utilities. Like in this day and age, I don't think any of us should have to pay for water, electricity, or even internet. It's so ingrained in what we do. It should just be provided for us. And healthcare. If the federal government's only job is to do that, and they can trim out a lot of the bureaucracy and everything. They can do that easy, with especially with a lot of automation and things like that. And then, you have capitalist, regular capitalist structure anywhere else. I say that because I also firmly believe that a government's responsibility is to its people and not to the corporations. I understand the reality is the money comes from the corporations and from like the rich people, so they get to be the de facto policymakers. But like, I would never bail. Like, if it was me, I would never bail out a company. Never bail
We had
out.
that conversation, and that was
Yeah.
like, it was interesting. I posted that video of the guy going, you can't do that. You should never bail out.
Yeah.
A company. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
There's a big cash grab for the board.
Yeah.
All the cash grab for it doesn't do shit for the poor people
Yeah.
on the bottom of the pyramid. Doesn't do shit for them.
No.
Does nothing. They're going to
And-
survive regardless, with or without
Yeah.
the bill.
And then the way I put it is, I'll take it to the next logical conclusion. You can either spend like $1 billion bailing it out, or you can spend a couple $100 million supporting lower level employees if they happen to lose their job through unemployment, like a federal unemployment program. So you end up spending less money to accomplish the exact same thing, which is keeping the economy afloat, because it's not the rich people who keep the economy afloat. It's the middle class. It's people that can go out and buy video games and buy extra pairs of shoes, that don't worry about whether or not I'm going to pay this bill this month, or I'm going to, pay my electric bill. It's like, you want those people that have disposable income, that are willing to spend it, go on vacation to Disney World and everything, that aren't worried so much about investing more. But what do I know? I'm just an idiot.
I mean,
An idiot with a good
I agree.
microphone.
I agree with you, though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I
There's
know.
the safety net. The idea
Yeah.
of a safety net for everyone.
Yeah.
We all pay taxes.
Mhm.
So it's like, even if you don't think, even if you're poor or on welfare, you pay taxes. Everyone pays taxes somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody
have to.
is part of this society. Everybody's part of the system.
Mhm.
There should be safety nets for us. That's not like, they're gonna, all they want to do is be on a safety net. All they want to be lazy.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people like that, though. But
Yeah.
it's more for people who don't.
Yeah.
There's a minority of people, a super minority of people,
Yeah.
who live off the system like that and don't want better
Mhm.
things for themselves. But they,
Yeah.
it's also a racial issue, but it's not a racial issue, and you can just step away from the race for a second. Just
Yeah.
not everybody on welfare is on welfare because that's their choice of life. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? They're on it because they got sick. They're on it because they lost their job. They're on it because they have kids to feed. They had a bad situation. You know what I mean? Suppose it's a safety net and it does work.
Yeah.
But it's so stigmatized as something bad that that's some shit that people want to defund,
Yeah.
underfund the safety net of our society, because they're mad about that. Realizing that was a half a penny goes to it from everybody's fucking dollar. It's
Yeah.
like, are you fucking, or even $100 or something like that.
Mhm.
And like the majority of our money is going to the military industrial complex.
I know the one thing that I would always do if I be in leadership is actually make, like, they kind of make the budget public,
This
but
is fucking military.
I would like to see the actual budget, like dollar for dollar, who is getting the money, like where the money is going
Google
to.
shit. I've been seeing it. Just Google shit. It's right there.
Like, you
Giant-
can actually see like the federal employees, like which ones are making the money, and where all, like, every single dollar that comes through, you can get to that
Your
level of
money.
detail.
You can see where the money's at, what department it's at, and that should tell you right there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about even when it goes to that department, how much of it is actually being used in that department? Like, what's that department's budget? Like, I want to see it all. Like, I would make that all public if I were in charge. Like,
Pretty sure it's all public.
yeah, I'm pretty sure some of it's public. I'm pretty sure that because there's a lot of kickbacks and stuff that they can't make public.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the Freedom of Information Act, like anything
Yeah.
they do,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? You can see it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Nobody does the legwork.
Yeah.
Those backroom deals, you can trace all that shit, but who's gonna do the legwork? Yeah, here you go. Here's a nice one.
Oh, nice.
You see this? Can you see it all?
I can't see that
I'll
now.
text it to you.
Yes, text it to me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
this is a fucking nightmare right here. This is the nightmare I was talking about. we don't have enough money for stuff. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. What are you doing with the money I give you? This is what they're doing. God. Fucking
I can't.
sick.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this.
Look at this thing. Should I
Man.
email it?
If I was streaming on, all right. So this is where our expenditure goes. So what's that? Like a good 55% of our budget is going to the military.
Yeah.
Okay, how much is going to education? Oh, that is not good.
That's not good at all. That's why
No.
we're getting dumber and dumber, and we elected Trump.
Yeah. Well, part of that problem too is this is where we get into this weird dynamic of states' rights versus federal rights. Is a lot of these state governors are pushing back against any sort of like federal education program, but they still ask for federal money.
Yeah, for certain things. And
Yeah.
that, I mean, that's one of the things that's funny. You know, Trump uses as a bully pulpit.
Mhm.
Like, if you want money, then do what I tell you to do. I mean, which is, I don't remember ever having that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need this money. Oh, here you go. I need this money. Here you go. Now it's like, wait a second. I don't ever remember any Republican governor or someone using it like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna give you money. Like the World Health Organization, we're out of there.
Yeah.
We're not giving you money. I mean, he understands money. He uses money to beat people up. He
Yeah.
uses money to bully people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his money. You
No.
know, he's like, it's our money.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. I mean, you know, I can pull money out. They did. You know, they pull it out of the
It
World
would.
Health Organization. They
I-
fucking do that all the time. I want. There should be some way for that to be checked, but it can't be checked
Yeah.
because you got Senate in his back pocket. He's got the fucking federal court in his back pocket.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I wonder. Now, here's the thing. Like, I think some of the things, like he may actually, like, again, as the contrarian, that's my role in everything.
I'm those Jesus.
I feel like he may, like, maybe there's a good reason, maybe there isn't a good reason. I'm not going to judge the reason right now. What I'm going to judge is the person, and being such an abrasive, condescending, ass jerk of a person. Like, you can't be a political figure and a leader and be that kind of way, because that just enables other people to act in that kind of way. And I'll say that till I'm blue in the face.
What's enabled people to act all kinds of ways? I mean, his presence and his behavior,
Mhm.
leads the nation.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
not even people who don't like him. Like people who don't like him are also acting like that.
yeah. Oh, I know.
That's why it's happening. They're like fucking they're acting like the president.
It's so funny. It's like I see, again, going to my Facebook, there's a couple people out there would be like, oh my God, if you support Republicans, you are stupid. You're an idiot. And I'm like, dude, that's very Trumpian of you to say. And
I tell Kate all the time. I tell her all the time, they're not stupid. Like,
No.
they are stupid. I said, no, they're fucking doctors, they're lawyers, they're fucking
They're
your
not
bosses,
stupid.
they're fucking, but they're not stupid. They just have a different belief system than yours. And
Yeah.
that might be fucked up, might be a little
Mm-hmm.
evil, but they're not stupid. If you think your enemy's stupid, you will never beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You will never win because you're going in. They don't know shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean. It's like in a fight.
Yeah.
He sucks. I'll whoop his ass. You walk up, you get knocked. You're on the ground in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah. Next thing you know, yeah. And next thing you know, you're coming to watch Spirited Away with two black eyes and having to explain it. No, Z froze. We'll give him a minute. I don't know. Oh, Z, where'd you go?
froze on me. I was checking my internet. I was like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, all right, you back. I actually say this all the time. I'm like, people who get all fired up and start like pushing against people and like acting like real angry, like, and calling people stupid. I'm like, you know what that's doing? That's empowering them. Like, because I look at it like, if you had a child, if you had a daughter, and the moment you tell your daughter that you can't date somebody, they're gonna start dating them. You
Mhm.
know, what you need to do is need to be sly about it. You need to make people come to your conclusion by their own means. You need to, I don't want to say manipulate, but you kind of like, you have to give them the facts and let them come along and get to the point that you're at, but you can't browbeat them.
I also say that his aggressive stance
Yes.
and policies is also the reason why you're having these riots, though.
Oh, yeah.
People are like, we can be like this. We can be aggressive. You
Yeah.
really don't care about what I'm saying. I'll show you something. I'll fucking
Yeah.
smash some shit. We're gonna all rally. We're gonna
Mhm.
shut down businesses. We're gonna shut down cities.
Yeah.
Because this is the only thing you're gonna understand. They're like, there's no.
Yeah.
Once they realize there's no talking to him and
Mhm.
his people, and there's only action to follow.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, he's definitely fucking instigated all this shit.
Oh, yeah. I say this before and I'll say it again because I have a very big belief in the power of leadership. Um, a country, a society is always a reflection of their leaders and what
Yeah.
their leaders allow. Like, and I'm not talking about, it's not a reflection of the laws or anything like that. It's people will always, like a child is usually, like, especially a younger child, is always a reflection of their parents.
I said that to you about the police force. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. It's the exact same thing when I was trying to. You guys are, you're, you gotta stand on your own or have your. I'm like, when you're in a group, somebody's
Mhm.
gonna lead that group,
Yeah.
and those older people or whoever's been there longer, they will
I know.
influence the next generation. And then like, they're same thing with the police. The police act the way they do
I
because
know.
they're trained to do all this shit.
I know,
And
but it's at the same time,
makes
it's
us-
very hard for me because I've never been that person where someone says jump. I never go how high. I ask, why the hell am I jumping? Give me a reason.
I've always done it. It makes shit difficult. I do like
Yeah.
my ex-military guys I work with because they
Mhm.
just jump. That
Yeah.
shit's awesome. I understand why people love that shit.
Yeah.
I was always like, why?
Yeah.
Why
I
is just
mean-
like why? Or like they're my Psalms like why? We were like why? But
Yeah.
and it's longer. It takes longer. You have to
Mhm.
explain stuff, but that's
Mhm.
a sign of an active mind, and an independent personality. I think.
Yeah. That's why my
Which I-
football coaches hated me.
Mhm.
They'd be like, you need to go into the weight room. And like, they never, like, I always say this about my coaches. I mean, I love some of my coaches I love, but a lot of like high school coaches, the reason why they're high school coaches is because they couldn't coach at higher levels. Like
Right.
people like Nick Saban, at the very least, as old as he is and as crotchety he is, he knows how to connect with people enough. Like people aren't like bad mouthing him like Richard Sherman does to like Jim Harbaugh, or like people come out of there with like a great respect, for Nick Saban, even though he's a tough coach. People, come out of Pittsburgh with a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin, even though he's a tough coach. Same thing with like Bill Belichick. Like part of it being at that level is being able to connect with people in different ways. They didn't know how to connect with someone like me, my coaches. And so they thought they could just browbeat me. But instead of me wanting to step up to the browbeating, it was me just going, all right, well, whatever. Now, if they were to approach me and put responsibility on me and said, hey, Jim, we need you to do this.
Mhm.
We depend on you. That triggers something else in me where it goes, oh, okay. Well, I can't let all these people down because now they're depending on me. That, if they would have done something like that, they probably would have got different results instead of going, hey, you asshole, and then coming around and punching me when I wasn't doing shit the right way. It's just, I don't know. It's ignorant. Like, you can't, I don't know.
I hear you. I mean, that's football though. There's a lot of that in football. There's a lot of that in sports, regardless
Yeah.
of physical, hands-on shit with your
Yeah.
coaches, grab face mask, all that bullshit. Which I don't know. I always thought it was just football.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to go out here and ram my fucking body against the other dude, my
Yeah.
coach, like in my face, shake my that's nothing.
Yeah.
But that's what we're doing.
Oh,
Erie that was all the time. It was all the time like that. Like
Oh, yeah.
I was like, and I started late in my career, and it was like when I played, it was just there's a lot of things I didn't get. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know, I didn't have vision as a running
Mhm.
back, and that's always fun for me because
Yeah.
I was fast, and I was the same weight at like 14. I was
Mhm.
the same height weight I am now at 14. Not now,
Nice.
but I was 6 foot and I was
Yeah.
fucking 170. And I was like, okay. and I could fast, strong, but no vision. So I always like, for me, that's like the best. Whenever I see someone with that,
Uh-huh.
like, it's one of those things I can appreciate the fuck out of more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like vision, like that shit. That for me, I think is the most underrated, most important quality of any athlete. Be
Oh
able to
yeah.
see the field, see the whole field,
Hmm.
see what's happening from a ground level, like you're playing a video game,
Yeah.
like that. Those cats are the ones that like really obviously stand out, and that's why they stand out because everybody's the
Hmm.
same height, weight, speed. You
Yeah.
know, what I mean, people with vision, understanding the game is. But no, I ain't had the vision, and I really didn't get to the level where I could understand the game
Yeah.
like I do now. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, like now I'm like, oh, this is what's happening. Back then, I was just out there just banging heads and like running and trying to focus on my one little job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do this one thing and not
Hmm.
really knowing what the fuck, why I'm doing this. But I just try
Yeah.
to do my one job, and it was like I said, I started late. I started like junior high,
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
I think it was seventh grade. I hadn't been doing it my whole since I was like one or some shit or
Yeah.
whatever, or you know what I mean, since first grade. It was like 7 years. Them cats had been playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I.
started late. I had a couple years off, a year off.
Hmm.
No, 1, 2, 7, 7. No, 7, 8, 9. When I was in Ohio, we lost our football team.
Mm.
Budget didn't want to pay for it. They
How dare they
lost it.
defund the football team?
They did in Ohio of all places.
Yeah.
And they fucking said, "Well, we don't really need." And then the next year, obviously, we better have it. We missed that.
Yeah.
We came back next year and play, but yeah, it was. I was just out there, man, trying to just
Hmm.
go get the ball, like cover that gap.
Yeah.
Take those blockers, fucking do whatever. That was it. But
I
I mean, we got. I was. I just try to do that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I understood that yelling was part of it. Like yelling is still part of it for my.
Yeah.
I
I
still. I yell now because of that. I
yeah.
yell at my kids. I told you that learning to ride the bike was
Yeah.
yelling at them. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I try not to because I know I don't respond well to it. Like um even when I was coaching like baseball, like I wasn't really yelling at people, but doesn't mean I probably took more like a Tony Dungy approach. Like people are like, oh, Tony Dungy doesn't yell. That doesn't mean that Tony Dungy wasn't like a tough coach to, or a perfectionist or anything like that. He demanded a lot out of his players. But I remember when I played, I had the size and I had pretty good feet and I had good understanding of leverage. I think two things that limited me was one, um, that was when my mental illness really started manifesting, and that put some inhibitions on me that I couldn't get past. It took a long time to start getting past. Um, and obviously, it incurred a bunch of judgment, and everything from the coaches about my dependability and everything, and minimization of a legitimate illness. Two is because they told me that I had to lift weights, I never did lift weights. Like it was like if I would have put in the
what does that
time.
mean though? Didn't they have organized team activities and had you in the weight room or what?
Yeah, but it was like voluntary. And
What was
so I
wrong?
just yeah, I just
That was voluntary.
yeah, well like you couldn't make it mandatory without breaking PIAA rules.
What? You mean
Yeah,
off season?
in the off season. Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, the off season. So like I mean, I was like and even then like I was naturally strong, but not naturally strong in like a weight room way, if that makes sense. Like I had a good understanding, like a natural
Country
understanding.
strong.
Yeah,
Country strong.
I had like, like even like the strongest people on the team, like when I felt like it, I could push them around because I had good understanding of my body kinesthetics. But yeah, if I would have been a little less inhibited, and did things a little bit differently, I probably could have, yeah, things would have been a lot different. I probably could have played. I mean, I even got offers to play in college as it was, but I
Mhm.
probably could have had more experience and, because I had more playing time as a junior and probably wouldn't be able to been a backup instead of the way it worked. But I was always a thinking dude, so that was a long way of getting to. I tried to play the long game, and I would be setting people up like. I have a very specific way that I would pass set as a left tackle and, let the defense rush in and everything. And then I used to go back to tell the coaches on the sidelines, I'd be like, hey, coach, I got him. Like every time I set like this, he's just rushing forward. That's, if we call this play, let me block it like this. So we would call like a 23 ISO or something like that. And instead of blocking it like a run where I can get him aggressively, I'm like, I can take him out of the play just by getting a little bit wider of a split pass setting, let him rush up the field. You'll have daylight for days. And that's that way that I always approached the game, was just like, all right, well, let's, and we struggled a little bit offensively, but even back then I was, okay, what we're doing isn't working. We got to do something differently. Let's try something different instead of just.
You saying you would try to change the play, or would you run the play?
So I mean, as a lineman, there's very limited things on what I could change.
You were just thinking.
Yeah, and I'm telling coaches and stuff like, hey, that's called this play. I can get this guy out. Like, I can, we call this draw play, this guy will be gone. And a couple times they listened to me. Like the one time, you haven't met remember the guy I did the draft podcast with, Matt?
Yeah.
he was a fullback for us, man. He was a man child. All right. I could do a whole show on just the knuckleheaded things that he's done in his life. But I remember this one play, it was against Central. We called a draw, and the draw was over to the right side, and I was a left tackle, right? I passed that, the dude rushed into me, and I picked him up, and I'm not exaggerating, I probably drove him 20, 25 yards off the field, off the ball, like straight back. The other side kind of collapsed, so he bounced off the other side and just followed me right up my ass, into the end zone, and we scored. The ref called the play back because they said they never blew the whistle to start the play. I was like, you got to be kidding me. It was so good though, man. It was so, I was so proud of myself. I love doing that. There was nothing.
My favorite story, my youngest, when I was first started here, 7th grade or whatever, and I went out. I signed myself up for the team, and my mom didn't know I played. Like my 4th game, she came to a game. She was like, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. And I grabbed this kid. He was running up the sideline, and I played outside linebacker. I went and grabbed him by a shirt. He just got by me, and this is like, I didn't even grab his pads, no horse car. I just grabbed his shirt.
Yeah.
I snatched him and threw him out. I snatched him, spun, and threw him 5 yards out of bounds, like all the way out into his fucking into the bench.
Yeah.
My mom, I was like, who the hell's yelling? I looked, it was my mom. She's after the game, she's like, I didn't know you played. I didn't want you to get hurt, but when I saw you throw that boy, I knew you'd be all right. So whatever. So just let me play, keep playing, because I was scared that she was gonna show. She was like, oh yeah, he's big leg down, or you know what I mean. She didn't look at me like that. And then she saw me out there with him with the stuff on. She was all like, "Oh, okay, you'll be all right. You're not gonna get hurt, except for his bad knee. It's bothering him right now."
Funniest story.
What about old injury? What about injuries? Do you have any?
I actually didn't get injured until after I stopped playing organized football. Because you play backyard football, I've been playing line. So first thing I want to do in backyard football is I want the ball.
Yeah.
Right. So I blew my knee out playing backyard football.
Yes.
So I'm running the ball. I'm a big dude, so I'm carrying a bunch of people with me. Right.
I got this.
Yeah. So this dude comes in and dives at my knee from the side. And I'm knock-kneed anyway.
That's so stupid.
And
why would you do that? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
At the same time, someone grabs you from my shoulder, so my knee like twists like that. So I completely severed my PCL, the tendon in the back of my leg, and my MCL, that's the tendon running on the outside of your knee. I missed the ACL, so I was fortunate I didn't have to get surgery.
Usually it's a quarterback and wide receivers, right? How you caught it and they all gang tackled you?
Yeah, well, it's not like I was fast. It's gonna take more than one person to take me down. Except for one kid I played with, Dan Stevens, best tackler I've ever played with.
I know him.
You might. I don't know.
Why the hell is that name sound familiar? So
I know he was on our chat when we were doing the draft show. But
maybe that's why, 'cause I saw his name or something.
But yeah, he was an incredible tackler. Like playing backyard football, he was the only person that played backyard football just like he played regular football with like no regard to his body.
Right.
Like,
right.
you know,
I like
it,
only time I like playing was in winter. Snowman.
Oh, yeah.
There's snowmans on. You can just really go full.
you go ham. Yeah.
There's a foot of snow on the ground. You're like, oh man, you're just like whacking people like into the snowbank. All that. Always did that. Always a plan in the wintertime. That was always the best.
Oh, this is funny. When I was in 11th grade, my brother was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And every year at our school, there was a rite of passage where the freshmen would play the JV team. Well, because there wasn't enough people on the JV team to fill out a full line, they had me go down to, get some reps with the JV. So I was playing left tackle. My brother was playing the left defensive end, so he's over on the offensive right. And we call it trap play. And I get to the line of scrimmage, I look over, and I see it's my little brother playing defensive end, and he's going to be the person that I trap. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm geared up. Ball snaps. I turn, and I'm running at him. I swear to God, he gets up, realizes nobody's blocking him. He's like, oh, I'm going to make a play. He turns his head inside. Eyes get big. He gets this big grin on his face because he knows he just got leveled. Oh, man, that poor kid. It was fun.
That's the worst. That's the worst playing football. I had one game I got hit with that. I got hit with that the entire game once. The entire game. Until I figured out the point is to blow it up.
Yeah.
In that concept, I'm trying to tackle somebody. I'm trying to tackle somebody every snap. I'm trying to tackle. It's like when the trap's coming, that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like your point is to blow up the trap. Took me almost a half to figure it out. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, the fuck? Coach, blow it up. Like, take them both out. Like, go low, chop them so people right around you can get this dude. Like, I never, boom, boom. I was like, they kept, of course, in high school, they were just like, this worked. This worked. Hey, boom. I'm sitting there like, these two dudes, they weren't even, I don't know if they were even bigger than me, but there was two of them. And them boys knew what they was doing. Boom. Here they come again. I could like your little brother did. I'd be like, boom. Snap, go, what? Boom. They're like, what the? There they go again. Yeah. Blow it up. When they see drop, get low,
get
them out, blow it up. One time I got in between, one time I split them. I split them one time. But then I tried it again. Oh.
Yeah,
you got these two dudes. They were like, "Oh, I got boom." No, the trap is the worst. A well-executed trap.
Yeah. Like even on in the professional levels, man, a trap can be devastating. Oh, you there?
Oh, I got you.
All right. The traps, I remember. Traps are brutal, man. We were taught as a defense, defensive lineman. Like if you get through untouched, your first thing is to look inside and get low. But that's the thing. But we actually played like a modified 3-4. We ran like a 5-2. And so we had 3 defensive linemen, 2 defensive ends, but they essentially functioned as outside linebackers. So we were the classic like Pittsburgh Steeler 2-gap. Like we played like almost a 2-gap type scenario where it's like, all right, you have to take up this gap and you also have to mind that gap without calling it a 2-gap. It was pretty intense. I didn't play much defense because I would say my reaction is not as good. Like that's kind of like the downfall of being more cerebral is that you have a tendency to think more. So when you're on the offensive side and you get to analyze the defense, you can pick your spot. And in defense, if you start thinking like that, you just end up playing slower. I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't work out for me as well. But yeah, traps are fun to run, man.
They're
I
not fun. They're not
I
fun to take.
I got a guy in the game one time.
No glory in the trap, dude. No glory going against the trap.
Picked
You have
him
one
up.
job.
put him down, and the dude took a swing at me. I'm like, what? I got a helmet on, man. Go ahead, hurt your hand.
I drove somebody out of bounds once, and I guess it was a little late. And then we watched the film study the next day. I'm like, I put him out. No, I talk a little. I did say some shit. I was like, "That's what you get, motherfucker," like that. But I didn't know where I was,
Yeah.
and I was on their bench.
Mm-hmm.
So there's video of my helmet, and all these other red helmets rushing over, like, oh, punching me in the helmet. I'm sitting there like, Jesus Christ. My boys came over, like, they pulled me out of there. But I did. I didn't know where I was. I was like, boom, drove them 5 years. I'm standing on top of them. That's right. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah, I'm on their side. Boy, go upstairs. Don't shush me. He's shushing me. This kid.
Oh man. Well, it's about that time for us to wrap up anyway.
Yeah. I gotta run. I gotta go get a shower. Find Kate. Do something for her. I don't know. She's all. We gotta do. Well, I want to do this. I want to do. Get Aaron. We want to do the bake barber. I want to do this next time though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is. I can anytime I can do it. Just make sure to get him on here so we can do this. This is actually a dope idea. Once I started doing it, I wish I would do it a while ago.
Once you start thinking about it, you're like, damn.
Yeah, I got some good information here. I appreciate it. It was good having a good conversation with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I can't. We're gonna try to get this going again. I know, like Aaron was doing it last week didn't quite feel right. I mean, it was
that was some weird. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, so but I'd like to get back into it just at least to give us all a break from having to, because this nonsense. I mean, I don't know about anybody else. I feel like I'm being browbeaten by it. Like every time I look anywhere, like I haven't even turned on like local TV. Not that I'm disinterested, but it's like I want to compartmentalize. Like, I want to think about different things every once in a while.
If you can do that, yeah. But I'm getting to a point now where I'm just like, I want to see it keep moving as long as it's moving in a positive direction.
Yes.
I'm not as worried about all the, I don't know. The civil disobedience for a reason, and they do what they need to do because there's real issues there. I'm like at the point where like I'm gonna watch it and hopefully people do the right thing. Hopefully people get involved in positive ways in their community, and they're already making a lot of changes. The Confederate flag came down on Marines. Confederate flag came down on Army bases. Confederate flag came down on naval bases. NASCAR took it down. Like things like that, things that people weren't thinking about are starting to happen. The statues of the slave owners are coming down. Things like that are, and if anyone has a problem with that, with the statues, I just had a good idea. I mean, just go pick it up and put it on your property.
Yeah.
If you really need that in your life, but you got the money, buy it and then put it up somewhere. You know what I mean? But to have it in a federally funded or state government that's site, that's ridiculous.
My whole thing that I'm not getting tired of the actions or anything like that. I'm getting tired of the lack of people willing to have conversations about it.
Well, everyone wants to go away.
Yeah.
People want to go away who aren't affected by the issues that are being raised.
Yeah.
That's okay. I get it. I get why you want to go away because you think everything's fine, but clearly it's not fine. It's not made up. It's not fake. It's not a hoax. It's like
it's not only that. It's on both sides where it's like, hey, if you don't acknowledge it, you're an idiot. You're stupid, and it's that continual like nobody wants to have a discussion, like an open-minded discussion. Everybody just wants to fight each other, and
mostly what I've seen is people saying, say something. I haven't
Mhm.
seen. I'm not on. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah,
I'm not on that shit. Thank God. But the
yeah.
reaction,
That's what I'm really talking about.
Twitter and stuff like that. I don't. I see people saying,
Hmm.
say something. You know,
Hmm.
say something. State your case. Pick a side. Do something so we know where
Yeah,
you stand. And maybe you have some good information that might help people. Like don't be silent. I heard
yeah,
don't be silent. That's what I've seen. Like don't
yeah,
say nothing. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You can't say nothing anymore. Whatever
yeah.
side you're on, say something. Say
And
something.
that
Get yourself fired. Say something racist. Get yourself fired.
and I've been trying. I've been trying to like have like conversations and try to, like I said, being contrarian. Like a lot of times when I'm talking, I try to take a very objective point. Like I don't even like a lot of times. Like I'll be arguing with people with things that I don't believe in just because I'm trying to be objective and see the multiple facets of it and try to come to a level of understanding
And
and
that's
just
good. And but when you come to a level of understanding, then
Mhm.
you're that should lead you in one direction or the other.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I'm trying to get other people to learn to hey, not everything is as black and white. I mean, there's some things that are definitely black and white, but there's more nuance to different things. But
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants to hear that. People want you to draw that line in the sand and go one way or another. And just like lifting weights, don't tell me what I can do. Don't tell me what is the right way to live my life. Don't tell me how I need to think. Don't tell me how I need to feel. Let me come to that conclusion on my own and we can have a discussion about it. We may walk away disagreeing, but that's okay. I don't have a problem with disagreement. I have a problem with people whose when I say something and I challenge their thought to say like, "Oh, hey, maybe defending police isn't what you think it is." And their only retort is nope. They're not giving me facts. They're not giving me evidence. They're not giving me anything. They're just giving me, well, no, you're wrong. Okay. Then I was wrong to think that I could have a civil discourse with you. Apparently, I need to treat you like an infant. And that's what gets me angry is like these people that I respected
There's people.
are
I mean,
acting
there's
like
people I
that.
work with actually like that every day as infants.
Yeah.
I just don't even. I don't just stuff. I just know point in
Yeah.
time conversation. Like I know them. I know their life.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they go. You know, they don't have any. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing, and it's like you're like there's no reason to even talk about it.
Yeah.
Like some people I do talk about it. You know, with that have a clue about
Yeah.
anything or even have an interest in it. But yeah, I mean, I've
But
been here
yeah.
20 years. I know everybody I work with. I know who I can talk to or I can't talk to, and when
Yeah.
stuff comes up and it's coming up, like I'm just like, my one manager, he was a criminal, and I was all like, doesn't matter. He was a criminal. I was like, what are you talking about? I said, I said, I know. I go, he did. What did he do? He didn't do nothing you never did. You deserve to have your neck your neck choked
Yeah.
out for 9.5 minutes. He's like, oh, and I was all like, that whole thing.
Yeah.
That's why Chappelle said what he said about old girl. That was
What,
so
that
wrong.
Candace Brown?
Yeah, no, that was funny. After you posted that thing, I was sitting there, I was like, she is no good. I didn't know she did what she did though. I didn't like
Yeah.
her from before, or no, I did know that at that time. Yeah, I did know that at the time. I knew she posted that list of his criminal thing. It's like, who cares? What are you talking about? Nobody, black, orange, brown, what else? Green
Mm-hmm.
deserves that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
9 minutes. And I told you I saw the Alpha fraternity brothers who came to a march here.
Mm-hmm.
We were all getting something to eat, and they're all there, and like the looks on their faces, like describing, because I guess they had them be on knee for 9 minutes,
Yeah.
and they were just like, they were all like 9 minutes, 9 minutes. I was like, that's a long time
Mm-hmm.
down on a knee, and like doing anything, like nine seconds, 90 seconds, maybe 9 minutes. It's like what? Like he's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I challenge anyone who's watching this, like, say knee for 9 minutes, and then try not to be affected by the thought process behind any reasoning why that happened. There's no
Mm-hmm.
reason for him to do that, and the cops stand next to him, letting him do it.
Yeah.
Crazy, but it's that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, oh, get down, handcuff, and he was already handcuffed.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that's got people enraged, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The more you think about it, the more angry you get at your
Yeah.
situation, the more complicit you feel in it. Like, am I doing enough? Have I done enough?
Mm-hmm.
What else do I need to do? Like, why is this happening? There's like no reason for that to happen. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no reason for that to be happening at all. You know, he was on methamphetamines.
Mm-hmm.
He was handcuffed and on the ground
Mm-hmm.
with 4 cops. You know, pick him up, throw him in the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that big scary black man shit though. Like Eric Gardner in New York, he happened to be 6'3" and 300. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I gotta choke him out, get him down. It's like, you know, shit, tase the motherfucker. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I
do
mean,
something better.
my hope, and I'll say this is kind of like my parting thought is, my hope is that one day we can evolve so much as a society where we can look at these things as isolated incidences instead of tips of the iceberg. And we can punish the individuals, and we don't have to have so much social reform because it's already done. It's already been taken care of. But until that time comes, I mean, the best way to... Oh, Aaron's calling me.
I gotta go. I gotta
All
go.
right.
I gotta get my day started.
All right.
Listen, love you. Thank you. This is awesome as usual.
Yeah, dude. We'll catch you
I'm
later.
getting a haircut too. I gave up. I'm gonna find somebody and get me a haircut. I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, COVID. I wear a mask too and everything, but this has to stop.
Yeah.
Jay.
Yo.
Hey, my bad, dude. I literally just woke up. I totally freaking